Massive hotel development in Bali, Sandiaga to hold limited meeting with Jokowi. And Sandiaga says Pope Francis's visit has impact on tourism sector. Stay tuned for details on these stories and more. Selamat siang. Welcome to the latest news from Bali in Indonesia. This is September 4th and 5th, 2024, and my name is Bruce. And lead story, massive hotel development in Bali. Sandiaga to hold limited meeting with Jokowi. The Minister of Tourism and Creative Economy, Pak Sandiaga, highlighted the massive development in the southern Bali area. Sandiaga will hold a meeting to discuss a moratorium or temporary halt to hotel construction in southern Bali. Our desire is also for a temporary moratorium on hotel construction because it's felt that South Bali is already too overbuilt. Surprise, surprise, to avoid over-tourism. He said this yesterday. Sandiaga said the development issues in Bali would be discussed in a limited meeting with the president. According to him, the plan for a moratorium on accommodation development in southern Bali also received support from academics and tourism actors. In addition, the meeting will also discuss the conversion of agricultural land in Bali. Happens all the time. Sandiaga then alluded to the statement of the coordinating minister for Maritime Affairs and Investment, Pak Luhut, talked about in a number of other segments in the video, who highlighted that many rice fields have been built into villas and hotels in Bali. This input is very valuable, especially regarding the sustainability aspects and the management of tourist villages. Previously, Pak Luhut had revealed plans to hold a limited meeting regarding the development conditions in Bali. He reminded that no more rice fields should be used to build tourism accommodation. And I think everybody wants to see Bali as a unique Bali, but are you going to keep the landholders from selling or leasing their land to either foreign or domestic people who want to build a villa or a hotel? How is this going to work out? Is it going to work out? As I've said many times before, this has been discussed 15 years ago. There was a call to halt construction, and it never happened. And then it was discussed a couple of years ago by the former president, Megawati. Never happened. And the governor at the time, Pak Koster, agreed with that. Never happened. Is it going to happen now? Well, who knows? Still talking about building the airport and the rail transit, the light rail transit. A lot of things want to be built here. Where are you going to get the land from? Good question, problem. And of course, everybody wants to get in on the road from Gilimanuk down to Mengwi. And there was another segment that I'm not going to record today, just another person, Sandiaga Uno's getting into it now. So we've had the former governor saying he's going to build it if he gets elected again. And we had Pak Luhut talk about it, and now Pak Sandiaga talking about it, and Prabowo talking about it. Everybody is talking about building that road. Is it going to get done? I don't know. People say it's going to get started soon, but the local people still seem to be in the dark. So what is going on there? Second story, Sandiaga says Pope Francis's visit has impact on tourism sector. So the Minister of Tourism and Creative Economy said that Pope Francis's visit to Indonesia had a big impact on the economy and tourism sectors. According to him, Pope Francis's visit is a historical record for Indonesia as a country to be reckoned with in the world. When Taylor Swift had a concert in Singapore, the president also asked, what is our plan to bring a big figure to Indonesia? It turned out that the Pope came, Pak Sandiaga said. Pope Francis will carry out his journey in Indonesia from the 3rd to the 6th of September. Sandiaga hopes that the arrival of the supreme leader of the World Catholic Church can bring a message of peace and reduce geopolitical tensions that have an impact on tourism and creative economy sectors. The image of a very harmonious country, religious harmony, tolerance is maintained. There are several regions in Indonesia that have data on the attraction of religious tourist destinations, such as Flores. Pope Francis arrived at the Soekarno-Hatta airport, and Pope Francis will visit several places in Indonesia to attend a number of state and religious agendas. He'll lead a mass at the Bung Karno main stadium on the 5th, that's tomorrow. Organizers are appealing to Catholics who do not have tickets to watch the Mass via live streaming. And in a related story, the Pope was offered luxury accommodations and he said, "No, I just want to stay like a regular person." Compare that with some political leaders when they visit other countries. And what about tourism up here in Buleleng? Stagnant tourism village threatened with revocation of status. The Buleleng Regency Tourism Office, DISPAR, plans to implement evaluation and classification of tourism villages, which has been stipulated in the Decree SK of the Buleleng Regent. This evaluation is prepared to ensure that the designated tourist villages develop optimally and continue to make improvements. The head of the Buleleng Tourism Office, Pak Dodi, talked about many times over the number of years I've been doing this, said there are 75 tourist villages that have been included in the Buleleng Regent's Decree. 75. Tourist villages in Buleleng have been formed since 2017. However, looking at latest developments, Pak Dodi said not all tourist villages are active and development, aka they're stagnant. It's undeniable that there are inactive tourist villages because they cannot realize the Sapta Persona, which is the main requirement due to budget constraints in the village. Well, we'll reevaluate this and use a scoring pattern of 25 assessment points. According to him, the 25 assessment points cover 5 aspects that support tourism: attractions and appeals, human resources and institutions, amenities, digitalization, and sustainability. Tourism villages must achieve a passing grade of at least 24 to 48, which is included in the pioneering classification. 49 to 73 is developing classification. 74 to 90 is advanced, and score of 91 to 100 is independent classification. Pak Dodi continued, if there's a tourist village that does not meet the minimum requirements, it will be evaluated and considered to have its status as a tourist village revoked. We hope that with this evaluation, tourist villages in Buleleng are truly worthy of supporting Buleleng tourism. This is important, especially since the central government and provincial government are currently formulating policies to address the density of tourist visits in South Bali. Buleleng, which of course is in the north, will at least get an impact from the moratorium on several tourism sectors in South Bali. At least we'll get an abundance of investment in tourist visits, he said. This is a good opportunity, so Buleleng needs to strengthen destination management, tourism village management, and tourism human resources to welcome this opportunity. And of course, if you've been up here, you know one of the selling points for a lot of people is that there aren't a lot of tourists up here, and it's much more traditional than many parts of Bali. And what's happening with weather? Well, due to drought, hundreds of hectares of land in Karangasem have burned over the past 2 months. Land fires in the Kubu subdistrict have become a regular occurrence since the dry season, almost every day. Over the past 2 months, 106.8 hectares of land have been recorded as being burned. Head of the Karangasem Regency Fire and Rescue Service said that the land fires had occurred since July to August and it had increased in intensity in the past 2 weeks. Yeah, it is dry. The land that was burned was not only grass, but there was also productive land containing mango trees, cashew nuts, and others. Over the 2 months, there were 38 reports of land fire. Of that number of incidents, 106.8 hectares of land were burned. Even though land fires occur almost every day, Budiasa said that the personnel at the Karangasem Fire Department have carried out their extinguishing duties smoothly. However, he said the distance from the Karangasem Fire Department to Kubu District is quite far, between 32 and 50 kilometers. That's why the time that personnel arrive at the scene is hampered because the location is far. Sometimes reports come in late. There's a winding road to Kubu and it's often faced with traffic jams and other obstacles. But outside of the distance related to handling the fires in the field and others, he said there were no other obstacles because all firefighters already have competent abilities related to this. In the midst of this dry season, he appealed to the public to be vigilant, especially the Kubu area, which is prone for fires. Once there is a fire, he said, report it quickly so that it can prevent the spread of the fire. That is it. Thanks for viewing. Be kind to someone today. Stay safe. And I will see you next time.